Hey guys, I hope you are having a fantabulously awesome day. I'm back here at my workbench and I'm going to be answering questions. What would you say are the must-have DIY tools? And first off, I'm going to say that just the tool belt in itself, I am going to say that is definitely going to be the top on my list. And I need that hammer. It's like, where is it at? If I had other things to carry, I'm not going to be able to carry that in one hand and the other things. So it's always good to have a tool belt. Must have, tool must have, tool must have, tool belt. The things that I feel are most necessary for any person that is doing DIY projects or looking to start doing DIY projects. I'm going to say that number one, a really good thing to have is a multi-tool, because it can do so many different things. And then, since there's so many little pockets, I try to only keep in one of the pockets, but it tends to sometimes spread over into other pockets. But nails, definitely nails, and I try to keep 3 different kinds. I have this type of nail, which these are quite similar. If I could only have one type of nail though, I'd say I'd pick this one, only because it's a lot longer, and that way, I mean, it could kind of cover all projects, but really any of this, and this is the smallest one. This is actually my favorite to use because it goes in a lot easier and it goes in on pretty much any surface, and then mostly what I use is wood. And then this one I like because the tip of it is a lot, or I guess you say the head is a lot wider, and that way no matter what I'm putting up, if I'm putting up like a picture and it seems to be heavier, I feel a little bit more confident on that because it's not going to slip as easily. And then, of course, definitely a tape measure. There is really no doubt about that. I have at least a couple of them here with me. I always have a tape measure, and I even have this. It's actually just a yardstick. It's an easy measuring tool just to have around. And then another thing, definitely to have either one or both of these, or some variation. Have something to write with. Kind of goes hand in hand with definitely if you need to mark a space of where you were measuring, or especially when you're cutting wood or things like that. And gloves. I've had these gloves forever. I think I've worn times, and like they've just lasted forever. So gloves, and that, especially if you're working with wood, or you're doing some kind of repair, where this, for one, it's not so much for keeping things off your hand like paint, and latex gloves will do that very well, but this is more of a protective thing, and these for the most part will protect with anything. Sometimes I don't like wearing gloves, and most of the time I don't like wearing gloves because it kind of restricts like what I'm doing with my hand, but it's definitely something you want to have around. Heavy lifting, things like that. Always screwdrivers. I would say a drill that's definitely will help you get things done faster. Definitely helps me get things done faster. But if all else fails, at least a screwdriver, and then I have the Phillips head and the flat head. I've just had these forever, but I know I have a couple here and there where it's actually the multi-tool, where either you can screw this part off and put the other head in, or one side is the Phillips and one side is the flat, and I have some that are different sizes and everything, but these are the ones I always grab if I'm going out or if I'm getting ready to work on something and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to need. I definitely throw those in the tool belt. Another thing are scissors. That is very helpful in a lot of DIY projects. A rope. And this is twine. It's really, really heavy, strong, durable rope. That has helped me out in a lot of situations. And my Gorilla Glue, super glue. I'm definitely all about the tools and the nails and the hammers and everything like that, but and I know this isn't actually a piece of hardware, but sometimes it's just not that complicated. I fixed so many things. I'm going to say some of my first DIY projects, all things considered, would definitely be super glue repairs. When all else fails, or when you haven't tried anything else, or I don't really know how to phrase that, but super glue is something I always have around. I think I have 2 containers of this in every room of my home. Definitely the hammer. This is my handy dandy tool. This right here, though, will work as a hammer on the back. You just have to hit it that way. It's not going to help in all cases because it doesn't have enough weight behind it to really get a lot of things nailed in, so to speak, and it's not that far of a reach, so I mean it can get a little bit awkward, but as far as an emergency tool, that if you have this multi-tool, that will work for that as well. And I believe that is all of the major must-have tools for any DIY person. I would say definitely you want to have in your tool belt, you want to have your screwdrivers, something, at least some kind of writing utensil to mark your place, measuring, something to do your measuring with, the tool belt itself, some type of nail. Once upon a time when all I had was thumbtacks, and I used to use those to put up the Christmas lights and things like that, but over time I saw that it was just a lot easier just to put the nails in and just leave these up year round. That way I could take them down and put them back up, and I didn't have to really do a whole lot of work every year on every holiday occasion. And then your gloves and the hammer. Another thing I would say that is really, really helpful to have is towels. I always have at least one of these when I'm working on something because I'm always going to want to wipe my hands, and sometimes these aren't enough. Sometimes I actually have to stop and wash my hands, but it's definitely a good idea to have one of these. And then as I was talking about in one of my other videos, I cut myself one time, and you definitely, I mean, you could always use your shirt or something like that, and there may be something around, but I never try to take it for granted that anything's going to be around. And that, if you can fit that in your tool belt, that's a good thing to have. And there's one other thing, for cleanups, it's always a good idea to have something like this to do your cleanup with. It doesn't necessarily have to be this big, or it could just be some kind of regular broom and dustpan. But this is really simple. Of course, this is just like something I use around the house just to get up spills and everything anyway, but I have several of these, and I always make sure I have one around. People tend to have shop vacs and things like that for projects, but this is just what I've always had, and it works fine. If it's anything bigger, I'll just get out the broom or actually get out my other vacuum cleaner and clean it up. So that's pretty much it. I hope that answered the question. Every person that works on DIY projects, these would be the must-have tools that you need to have, at least starting out, or if you're going to begin on any project, I would say at least have these before you begin handy. Thanks for watching my video today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, put a nail in that like button. feel free to leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.